I haven't slept, so if this is a bit gobbledygooky, um, definitely hit me up with questions. All right, I'm seeing a bunch of activity in the rooms, which is fantastic. I know we're all waiting for Micah, and I know that that's hard to wait, particularly at this point when you've already been plotting and then we stopped plotting. So let's get back to craft, right? Yesterday we talked about the different levels of goals. We've got the big goal that is resolved at the end of book 6. We're all writing a 6-book series. And that is to overcome your apocalypse. You've already got that baked in. Then we've got the goals per book. So whether or not that is to get to safety or to defend a home or to, whatever it is your goal is for each book, you need to make sure that for your character, the goals are really clear. And I would encourage you to think about how to make this coherent. One of the difficulties that we're facing is that I encouraged you to put people in different places so that you didn't have to fight really hard, chapter by chapter, to know what everyone else was doing and where everyone else is, because continuity is a bitch anyway, right? If you had 4 or 5 POV characters in the same place and you had to track continuity through all of those. I mean, I have a hell of a time tracking cars in my books. That would be really difficult. So you've got people spread out, but they have to be part of the same story, even over 6 books. Some of them may never overlap, and that's completely fine, but they're under the umbrella of the same apocalypse. I'm just going to take a side road here. 1, because my brain works that way, but 2, because I'm seeing it. You're not deep enough into your apocalypse where you're starting in some of your thinking. So you're brainstorming some really great ideas of things that can go wrong, but you've got way too much civilization in your thinking. I'm not seeing people building fires or not having access to the most basic things that will force them into terrible situations because there's no electricity and there's no running water and there are no fire or policemen coming to save you. You are on your own. This is very, very much, even in a group, you're on your own and everything around you has fallen apart. So I just want to push you a little bit deeper. When you're deciding where you start your novel, you've got lots and lots of things to think about. We've talked a little bit about the inciting incident and we'll come back to it, but you really do. So I'm just checking my time is actually going because I have no idea what day it is, what time it is, or if I hit the button. So you need to think about the ticking clock of the apocalypse. So the place where you decide to start telling the story is where terrible things are happening and your characters have to get out of their comfort zone. They have to do that thing. There is no, let's stock up on toilet paper. Think about Walking Dead, right? So The Walking Dead, we don't have a big build-up. We don't have this, oh, here is civilization and things are going okay. Things are broken down. And we've got this beautiful setup where, I can't remember anybody's name. I've got nobody's name. I'm so sorry. But you can see how communication works in The Walking Dead in the early seasons, how people try to stay in touch with each other, but they can't, how they defend a position and then lose it. We've got the wonderful father-son combination who we're rooting for. And they're not our main character, because what's his face? Really still can't remember the name. He's the one with the through line. So you want a kind of cohesion that allows all of your characters, no matter where they are in the world, to be under the same apocalypse, and you want them in some way related to your alpha protagonist. I've never used that phrase before in my whole life. I am making shit up as I go along. I just pulled that out my ass. I'm really sorry. So what you want, if you can, is to select a protagonist who, as much as possible, is going to be the one who is dealing with the overarching arc that goes through 6 books. So the functional equivalent of your Harry Potter. Because lots happens in Harry Potter, right? We don't not love Hermione because Harry is the main character. We don't not love... Now I can't remember anybody else's name in Harry Potter. This is what happens if you don't get any sleep. And during the apocalypse, you don't get any sleep. You understand? You sleep with one eye open. But think about all of the characters who you've got in Harry Potter. So you've got the big overarching go up against the big bad Voldemort. But you've got an episodic challenge within each book that Harry has to, win the match, find the snake and kill it. I can't remember any of the books now. Yeah, this is so useful. It's much more useful with examples, so I am going to probably come back tomorrow and do this again. But I want to get you back on track with thinking about how all of your characters are related to this alpha character that I want you to think about, who possibly goes through all books. The reason that I separated you out was so that you wouldn't have to be tracking continuity through all of your books, but we're running into a story problem because of that decision, because your stories are starting to fragment, and I need them to start coming together. Now, it could be because we've decided to concentrate on books 1 and 2, so it could be fine, but I want in your heads this idea that there is a through line that goes to the major goal of beating this big bad, which is your apocalypse. Okay, you're going to have 4 million questions and shoot them at me. I will do my absolutely level best to answer them, or I'll go and take a nap. We don't know how today is going to pan out. Bye.